Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today has been a day that will go down in infamy for Warner Brothers because on Henry Cavill's birthday, no less, they decided to oust him as Superman while they look for someone new and also declare that the Snyderverse is dead and Emmerich might be on his way out the door. We're going to be talking about all of that right now. Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing today? I mean, it's a day, right? It's a hell of a day. I was just sitting there watching some, Boss Baby Back in the Business with my kids, and I'm surfing Twitter, and all of a sudden it's blowing up everywhere because Warner Brothers doesn't have a clue anymore on anything when it comes to DC or what fans want. Let's be fair, all right? I think we've cut them a fair amount of slack over the course of the past a couple years. Really, you could tell there's been corporate upset. There's been a new company. There's been a merger, and here comes Kal-El, and Kal-El's like, hey, I'm from Hulu. We're going to greenlight the Snyder Cut and we're going to make it work. And then, deafening silence has happened over the course of the past month. It's been kind of funny to watch nonetheless. Anyways, take a quick look here. We got Zero Gaming says he's at work. Yeah, well, now technically so am I. Jay here says WB need a full-on reboot. I completely agree. Commander Data here says Warner Brothers must get something. Henry Cavill Superman wasn't loved by all. Henry Cavill Superman became a lot more loved over the last couple years, and they've kind of done him dirty. Valentine here says we don't want Henry Cavill done playing Superman. We need him. Man of Steel 2 Superman movie. That's right. Music Man's asking, is Cavil out? Cavil's out. We're going to be looking at the article here in a second, just giving people a chance to come on in. Gamers X, I know you don't want it to be true. I get it, sir. I do. I understand completely. But unfortunately, I believe that it is. That's terrible. But HBard's here, $2 super chat. This is odd. Matt's on during the day. I know. I'm awake. I'm feeling better. And this is some big news. Thank you, though. Let's see here. Nick Rayer says AT&T needs to bitch slap Warner Brothers and say, stop this right now. That's right. They need the Michael Jordan stop it. Get some help gif. Defending Truth says Hollywood and reality become further and further detached. Oh, maybe. Classy Ulysses says just watching the DC animated verse. That's probably for the best here. Adam Burke, he's out. I know he is. Sorry, the all-seeing. I skipped you. Did I? Okay, sorry. Let me go back to this one. Saying if it's a black Superman, it isn't going to be Kal-El. It will be Val-Zod. Also, as far as I know, Cavil is still slated to appear in Shazam, Fury of the Gods. See, all of that is rumor. This is the problem. And I'm just going to say, I have friends who are scoopers. This is where I have my biggest issue. Is because it's like I can't report on those things very often. Because I find them to be so flighty. In regards to certain things, but let's we got 60 people in here right now. I think it's doing okay. It now designated pile driver. I like that. It says if they did Val-Zod or Calvin Ellis or took a deep dive and did Ifro. I don't know who that is. I'm sorry, but Kal-El. Let's see here. TJ says, isn't this Superman having his own pocket universe? So there's a chance Cavil could stay. Nah, dude. This is pretty definitive. If the Hollywood Reporter is accurate here, this is pretty definitive. And we'll bring up the article and we will dive through it. So because there's been a couple things that have been happening today with Warner Brothers, and the Hollywood Reporter is talking about it here. This is what I saw waking up today. They had. Behind Warner Brothers' search for a black Superman. Yeah. And this is not, this has a lot to do with J.J. Abrams as well, guys. So this isn't no pocket universe. This is going to be where things are going. Really, honestly, you can tell. Now, this is what it says here. While promoting his Amazon Prime film, Tom Clancy's Without Remorse, Michael B. Jordan put a kryptonite pin in the rumors that he might suit up as Warner Brothers' next Superman, saying that I'm flattered that people have me in the conversation. It's definitely a compliment, but I'm just watching on this one. With that, A whole new guessing game is kicked off, the centered on who will play the Man of Steel and arguably more pressing who will direct. Sources say, now, of course, this is always the terminology to pay the hell attention to, right? But this is not like, this isn't like Doomcock. My little sources are telling me, which is people on 4chan planting rumors for him. No. This is Aaron Couch from The Hollywood Reporter. This guy, they hear stuff. And even Grace Randolph today was saying some stuff was going to be coming down the pipeline. And that could be the next article we're going to look at, too, about Toby Emmerich. Anyway, sources say here that J.J. Abrams, who is producing the film, is not among the many possibilities being considered for a director. All right. So J.J. Abrams will produce this. He's going to oversee it, Bad Robot, all that stuff. He's not going to direct it. And I think a lot of people out there were worried that he was going to direct it because he did want to direct his Superman flyby script back in 2004 when, by the way, Henry Cavill was cast as Superman before Brandon Routh and then after Brandon Routh. So maybe they're just going to leapfrog him a little bit. They'll bring in this new guy and then they'll go, whoa, we need another Superman. Let's get Henry Cavill, who's maybe play Kingdom Come Superman. I don't know. He'll be in his 40s by that point in time. But anyway, Warner's announced in February that celebrated author Ta-Nehisi Coates is writing the screenplay that Abrams is producing. It did not address the matter of helming. But again, insiders say that Warner Brothers and DC are committed to hiring a black director to tackle what will be the first cinematic incarnation of Superman featuring a black actor, with one source adding that putting Abrams at the helm would be, in fact, tone deaf. Yeah. So there we go. I mean, like that's, the first, this is, look, I mean, they're laying it out there, right? They're laying it out there. Min here says, just trust me, bro. Yeah, I know. I get that too. I get that. This is, I know, Justice Star here says, my God, Hamada has no idea what he's doing. That's absolutely correct. Well, this is more JJ, I think. This is more JJ because, Hamada oversees DC Films. They dropped the $500 million to get JJ to come on. So his footprint is going to be something that's going to be massive. And that is talked about here too. Okay. In a fitting twist, the director searches pitting DC against none other than Marvel. Yeah. They're going to lose. All right. That's not even a bold proclamation. That's not even a hot take, folks. That's nothing. And that's not me coming out here and saying, oh, well, it's a Marvel fanboy. I think Marvel's going to beat out DC. No. The other day, Marvel dropped that 3-minute Welcome Back to the Movies teaser. Everyone lost their shit. Everyone was happy. Even DC fanboys I know were happy about that. They're like, oh yeah, no, Marvel did a really good job. DC's over here going like, hey, everyone, y'all want a reboot? We just handed out them reboots. And nobody wants that. Now, anyway, but the question then, and they're talking about Blade is the reason why they're going to be pitted against each other. Superman and Blade aren't even in the same category. I love both characters, but they're not even in the same category. That's such a weird, that to me, okay, look, the reason why they're saying Superman versus Blade is because of the race of the character. That's it. That's the reason why they're saying it, which is so, at that point, doesn't that come across as exceptionally tone deaf? To sit there and go like, well, because they have two prominent black characters that they're trying to fill right now, they're clearly going to be at odds with one another. I'm like, what the hell is that kind of statement? I don't know. I find that to be, it's a little sus in my opinion. It's a little sus. I think it's like, it's a little bit there for drama. It's kind of stupid. But the question then, going back to the article is, will it come down to what kind of filmmaker Bad Robot and Warner's want? An up-and-comer who can be backed by Abrams, who knows his way around a tentpole and franchises? Or an established filmmaker like Barry Jenkins or Ryan Coogler? Well, Coogler, come on. Coogler's doing Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and he's not going to leave like Marvel. They're going to throw money at him to stay. So that's kind of, again, that's like, are you just looking? They tried to sit there and like bring up this list. It says the former list can include, right? I don't know what that means. Can. That doesn't mean does or did or will. It can include. I don't get it, man. But you got like Steve Capel Jr., J.D. Dillard, Regina King, Shaka King, who just did Judas and the Black Messiah. It's again at Warner's. They do like to keep a lot of things in-house. That is potential. And they talked about here, some potential directors have met with both studios for both films. even as one agent said the process is still phenomenally early. Phenomenally, if I could talk today. This might be the thing you guys got to hold on to right here. If you're upset at this and you're mad at Warner's, phenomenally early just means that they're still currently in the development and talking phase. So you might be able to sway them with some social media stuff. But I honestly, at this point, it's kind of, I don't know. And it says, meanwhile, Coogler may be a non-starter because he's working on, yeah, no shit. Like they drop Ryan Coogler here for SEO, by the way. So they put Ryan Coogler's name in for SEO because we just had the Black Panther Wakanda Forever title card and the release date the other day. And then not even like 3 sentences later, well, Coogler's a non-starter because he's working on Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Jeez, this is desperate for some clickbait. Anyway, Coates isn't expected to deliver his Superman script until mid-December. Likewise, Marvel isn't rushing with Blade, whose start date was pushed from September to July 2022, so that the studio can spend time working on the Stacey Osai Kufor pen script. Cool. I mean, it's Blade. I don't know what they're going to do. I could probably write Blade over a weekend. You know, it depends on what angle they want to take with it, I guess. Anyway, meanwhile, the next Superman will likely land with a named director, but the star could be a relative unknown, as was the case when Brandon Routh suited up for Superman Returns and Henry Cavill donned the cape for Man of Steel. Well, again, like I said, Cavill had been cast before Superman. Now, neither Superman Returns or Man of Steel lived up to the outsized expectations, with the former earning only $391 million worldwide and the latter taking in $668 million worldwide. However, just talk about this real quick. When I did my Podio commentary on Man of Steel, Warner's made over $160 million in product placement on that movie. They did so much pre-market, like pre-licensing on that film. They made so much money on that, including the home video sales are pretty high for it too. So coming out and saying that it just didn't do it's $668 million. This was in 2013. This was before everything was rocking $1 billion in superhero stuff. Yeah, granted, The Dark Knight Rises from the year before crossed $1 billion, but that was the end of the thing. That was the end of the franchise, you know? And so it's kind of it's ridiculous anyway here. But then it goes here. By contrast, James Wan's Aquaman nabbed $1.15 billion that had followed Man of Steel and BVS and even Justice League. Like there was a buildup to get to Aquaman. It wasn't the first movie out the gate. This article is exceptionally anti-Snyder, by the way. Can you guys feel that? Can you feel that in the writing? Can you just feel like the hatred for Zack like oozing out of this? Oh, I just want to make sure. This was Aaron. Oh, this was by, I was wrong. This is by Tatiana Siegel and Boris Kitt, not by Aaron Couch. Ah, okay. I thought Boris was more of a Snyder Cut fan. This feels like it's a Tatiana thing. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm just not really feeling it. Anyway, but establishing a new tone with the launch of the next Superman franchise is key to Warner Brothers DC's film future. As such, little will remain of the so-called Snyderverse vision. This is them planting again the seeds. Look, the Snyderverse is over. I've been saying this for a while. They've said it directly with Ann Sarnoff. Zack has said they don't want him. This again is coming out and saying that it's over. The remnants that are there are not going to be tied in to the Snyder Cut. It's all Justice League is going to be the canon, and that's unfortunate. And this is pretty bad. You know what I mean? Real quick, H-Barts, I did see your super chat. I'll get to it here in a minute when we get through this article, okay? Because it's going to talk about the next thing. So I don't want to jump too far ahead. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, look, we can sit there and tell that there's hatred here for Snyder. There's an absolute disdain for Snyder. They don't like what's going on. Now it says DC sees this upcoming Flash movie, which began production last month, as its way forward for this post-Snyder world. Why does it got to be post-Snyder? Clearly, everyone who gives a shit about freaking DC right now is just sitting there going like they want Snyder. But it's like, you know, my God, they hate this man with a passion. It's like he either like pissed in their Cheerios or like lit the fuse on their tampon. I literally have no idea did Zack beat their dog? Is that what happened here? I don't get it. The more like you read about this, the more it's like, what the hell? It's all this subversive language too. You know, here's Zack like, I'm raising all this money for anti-suicide prevention. I'm raising all this money for charity. I'm out here doing my own marketing for this movie, blah, blah. I mean, people are checking it out. We don't even know what the home video sales are going to be like when the thing drops at the end of the month. They've already sold out in the UK, according to pre-sales. So it's like people want it. There's money on the table. I'm not a fan of them ending it, but it just gets to be really frustrating when it's like you can kind of tell that the whole fucking industry seems to be against him in his DC movies, which have kept him culturally relevant now for 8 fucking years. I mean, look, I'm a Marvel guy through and through, but what 2013 Marvel was Iron Man 3. What's a better movie? Man of Steel. 100% better movie, right? What was Marvel's lineup in 2013? It was Thor: The Dark World and it was Iron Man 3. And both of those movies, like, they made money, don't get me wrong, but like, if you ask fans, like, hey, what are the worst films in the MCU? A lot of people say Thor: The Dark World. The answer is Captain Marvel, but they'll say Thor: The Dark World or Iron Man 3. I do like both films, but I mean, out of the superhero movies we got in 2013, Man of Steel has stood the test of fucking time. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous nonsense here. All right, sorry, I'm getting a little bit heated. I've had my caffeine, so that's what you guys are getting right now. Anyway, so then it talks about the multiverse here, right? So they're doing the Michael Keaton's Batman. The one thing Flash does to set up DC with a multiverse that allows for many of these incarnations and story universes to coexist and have superheroes interact. So far, every movie and TV show, hold on, with the exception of Matt Reeves' The Batman. This is some half-ass nonsense, right? Okay, guys, listen. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. All right, as they take a bump of cocaine. Oh my God. Oh yeah. All right, multiverse. Okay, multiverse. Everything's connected. Everything's connected. And like, yeah, but what about like Matt Reeves' Batman? Oh no, that's its own thing. Maybe one day, but for right now, that's its own thing. It's so stupid. There's no leadership here. All right, like if this was the Captain Phillips movie, like, honest to God, the fan base is now turning into the Somali pirates. They should just go like, I am the captain now. Because the fans get it. The fans get it. Anyway, so the Superman film, here's where we get into some of it, appears to be moving into its own track and won't be part of the universe as of now. So again, they're setting up a multiverse, but their new Superman, their new Batman, completely separate. Completely separate. All right. And they're saying here that sources again say that it's a THR, that Coates is crafting Kal-El, not Val-Zod, not Calvin Ellis, Kal-El, in the vein of the original Superman comics, and will have the protagonist hail from Krypton and come to Earth. While the story is currently being crafted and many details could change, one option under consideration is for the film to be a 20th century period piece. That's right, folks. A 20th century period piece is what they're talking about right now. This is Kal-El. This is not like, this is the way they want to go, and that's fine. I have no issue with a black Superman, none whatsoever. It could be cool, like social commentary sort of thing. But I'm pro Cavil, baby. I've been pro Cavil for a long ass time. So this is where I stay on this shit. But the fact of the matter is that like you cannot pimp a fucking multiverse and sit there and go like, yeah, but our two biggest properties, Batman and Superman, are not going to be involved. Who does that? You know what I mean? Like, who does that? It's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous stuff here. Oh my God. It's just, oh, Jesus Christ. This is some bad stuff here. Okay, hold on. I do see some super chats. I don't want to leave people hanging here real quick. Real quick. So I'm going to lose it. Here, because of StreamYard. Anyway, H Bart's here. $5 says, if Toby goes to Netflix, I'm guessing Zach would say no to signing an exclusive deal with Netflix. I mean, maybe. But then again, by the time that he would be going over there, if he does go over there, the deal would already be signed. Anyway, I just want to get that one out of the way, but we're going to be talking about that because now we get into the whole thing here with the diversity. Here we go. Diversity and representation remain key drivers for the DC universe moving forward. So I hate to be that guy. Read between the lines on this one. All right. Like, Even though there are tons of characters that are people of color in the comic books that deserve their own stories, they don't want that because it'd be, and I'm telling you guys this, the reason why is because it's too effing hard to market. Those characters probably don't have like the distinct fan base, which is exactly why Marvel, by doing all the shows first and then moving those characters into the big leagues, allows the audience to get to know those smaller characters that they otherwise might not know and then root for them on the big screen. It's a slow burn process that yields a very high return. But DC, on the other hand, is like, fuck it, we're going to do it our way, which is really stupid. Really stupid. Anyway, look, they're casting. Well, I don't want to say this isn't a negative thing here, but like HBO Max is casting for a gay Green Lantern character for an upcoming series. It's like, it's all over the place, which is, it's fun. I mean, what I mean by that is like creatively, where's going to go where sort of thing. Anyway, as for Abrams, who inked a $500 million deal, it will still wield plenty of influence on the DC universe. With Snyder gone, the Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens director will now have perhaps the largest footprint as he oversees Justice League Dark Universe for film and TV. Among the rumored projects is a Constantine reboot at Max. At minimum, HBO or Abrams should be raising hell with DC with the Hellblazer. I mean, look, the thing is, it's like all that crap, right? And I see RJ is here, so let's just... Oh, real quick, RJ, before we dive in. I know. But I got a couple here I want to get to before they go away. I don't want to miss them.
No, you're good, man. No worries.
I saw, let's see here. Okay, there's a $20 one from Canadian from McLeod. Thank you, sir. It says we can have a Henry Cavill Superman and Black Superman. They can both exist just like with the multiple live action Batmans on different Earths. But the way Warner's is running it, they don't care what the fans want. That is true. But they don't want Henry Cavill though. That's the thing you got to keep in mind here. They don't want, like, they want to get rid of the Snyderverse. Like, that's what they want. And Cavill is like the key to that. And right now, like, they're in a space where they can just kind of like exit him out, stage right, and like walk away and crap, and that's stupid. And the thing is, yeah, you're right. They can do both simultaneously. But like the thing with the multiple Batmans though, is that like, that's a little bit easier to argue. I don't even think a lot of people are gonna go for multiple Batmans. I'm sorry. I don't see it happening. I just don't see it.
Too confusing.
And this is what I keep trying to tell people like Enosh, and Enosh can come on in and defend himself, but he keeps saying, no, people, no, the multiverse is great. DC, like, the average person is not going to understand. If you did not grow up never once touching a boob and just reading comics, you're not going to get it.
Well, here's the thing. They would probably get it if they had good writing and they actually, were competent in their plan.
I don't think
but right now, they don't. They have no clue what they're doing, and I don't think it's going to be well written at all. So.
Yeah. Well, here's something. Okay, here's something that McLeod said. Thank you again for the $10, sir. I appreciate that. He says, and by fans, I mean the toxic part of the Snyder fan base. I think in part WB is also convinced that the Geeks Plus Gamers fandom menace part of the fandom represents everyone, despite Zach's calling them out.
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to J.J. Abrams, yes. Because J.J. Abrams has in fact mentioned the fandom menace in an interview, and I know how exactly he was. I know how that happened too, because there's a guy, Nerd Report here on YouTube, Louis Lecca, contacted Bad Robot before the release of The Rise of Skywalker to complain that they hadn't said anything in retaliation or in response to these outlandish reports that were coming out from people like Doomcock. And that is how JJ caught wind of the fandom menace, because Lewis was then invited to like Star Wars events after that. It was pretty interesting. All right. I'm not saying the two are connected. I'm just saying the two are connected. And Nick says here, man, Matt's pissed. It's so stupid. I'm so dumb. And I just hold on here. There's some more super chats I want to get to. I just don't want to leave people hanging, all right. H Bart's here. $5. Calvin Ellis is also known as Kal-El with no space. Could still be him. No, isn't he Val-Zod, or is he?
No, Val-Zod's a different character.
Okay. So this shows you how much I fucking know. I thought they were different characters. Okay. Maybe that's Hollywood Reporter screwing it up. Maybe that is. All right, and Andy Bucco here, $5.49 or pound euro. I can't read that thing. It says it's not a surprise to me. Cavill tried to pitch a Superman story to Warner Brothers for years. I think he dropped the role. He was great. Time to move on. I agree. Time to move on. I love The Witcher. I can't wait for season 2. I hope
potential Mass Effect project coming up.
Yeah. Did you hear though that like even there was a report, and I don't know how much of this I believe, or even I forget where I read it, but apparently like the Mission Impossible producers are looking to bring Henry Cavill back for like the finale.
I want that to happen so
and
bad.
I'm like, you know what?
Great.
He was awesome in Fallout. Like, I'm like, yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm down with that actually. Like, you know what? Because it's almost like Fast and Furious. Like the bad guys never died; they just become part of the good guys team. Have you ever noticed that in Fast and Furious movies? Yeah, it's like that. And then Geek Prime here is talking about Gal Gadot next, probably.
Especially if the next Wonder Woman doesn't hit. So.
No, I'm just saying it is literally though. Wonder Woman 84 was not a functional film. It was just not. It looked pretty. It was entertaining for what it was, but it was not a functional movie.
I think it damaged the brain a little bit.
Oh yeah, but then here comes the Snyderverse, and it's all like, here comes Snyder Cut, and you're like, oh hey, look, there's Wonder Woman. Oh my god, she's fucking people up, dude. Like that opening sequence with the terrorist man. Like I had to watch that a couple times because like I was like literally like mouth on the floor, all excited and shit, you know. And it's just like oh god damn, this is why I fucking hate some studios, dude. You know, because like you support them for years. And then it's like you look at their decisions and they just don't make functional sense.
That's why I need Toby Emmerich to go to Netflix. Get him out of Warner Brothers. Just get him out. Just let him leave. Get all these people out. So you need a clean house, man. It's a mess.
I know. All right. Let's see here. TJ, thank you, sir. Canadian $5 super chat says, remember this quote by Superman Deluxe. Only that this city is never going to love you just for hating me. Yeah, well, that's true. Warner Brothers is hating on Zack and the fans. F Warner Brothers. I mean, they were definitely this article. I mean, you read that article. That article was like anti-Snyder like crazy.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was just them constantly reaffirming that it's done. They are moving on. This is their plan because they want to remove themselves far in between what Snyder did. Here's my thing though, right? Last paragraph talks about J.J. Abrams, how that he's going to have the largest footprint, right? The largest influence. I don't hate J.J., but he has never been that franchise guy to where he sticks with the franchise for very long and actually knows how to plan it out and have a good, he doesn't know how to end a franchise either.
Yeah, at this point, he's happy. Well, I mean, like, to be fair, he did end the sequel trilogy.
But so it was it was a bad movie, in my opinion.
Anyway, I didn't think it was well, I mean, it wasn't great. I think because I'm a huge Star Wars fan, like part of me just wants to defend it, you know? So there's that. However, I get it. Now, TJ here, another $2 Canadian. Thank you, sir. Says for Zach's health, he should just move to Amazon. I mean, look, honestly, the way Netflix operates, I think Netflix is great for him. Amazon,
what if Toby Emmerich goes to Netflix though?
Well, if he signs a deal, then we don't know. But let's take a look here at the Emmerich article, because this is the other thing that just popped up, and this might have been what Grace was talking about.
It was, yeah, she confirmed.
Okay, she confirmed. She has me blocked on Twitter, so I only catch snippets here and there. But I haven't read this one yet. I just literally dropped right before I went live. So here's what we have going on. So Warner Brothers film chairman Toby Emmerich floated for new job. This is you can tell he is looking to get the hell out, and he's only been in play since like the fall of 2018, right? So he came into Warner's to take over in the CEO role, whatever the hell the head he was of the picture group back in 2018. So you know he came in during the Snyder Cut stuff. And then he's probably just like tired of it, you know? Oh no, no, I think he came in 2017. He was, yeah. Cause like, I remember cause the Snyder Cut was under his, or Justice League was under him. There we go. I just want to make sure my dates are right, cause I hate when I get that wrong. Sometimes everything just kind of blurs together. Anyway. So, okay, here's what we know here. With 18 months left on his contract, is Warner's film studio chairman Toby Emmerich exploring job opportunities? While it is far from clear Emmerich will leave the studio after more than 20 years, Sources tell the Hollywood Reporter that David Geffen in recent weeks placed a call to Netflix CEO, co-CEO Ted Sarandos to inquire whether there might be a possible role for Emmerich at Netflix. Now, the thing you have to consider with this, though, is Netflix was recently like in trouble for poaching. I think it was like Fox execs or something. So like they've, so that's something to consider. Now, Geffen is 78, Emmerich is 58. Both were guests at a January dinner hosted by music mogul Jimmy Iovine. I don't know. Emmerich started out in the music world and then worked at Atlantic Records, and Geffen has credited Atlantic co-founder Ahmet Erdogan with giving him a start in the record business. Okay, so sources close to Emmerich say he had no knowledge of Geffen making any calls on his behalf. Others with knowledge of the situation say top Netflix executives did not see a place for Emmerich at the streamer, but a source close to Sarandos said no call was placed to him and there was no discussion about a position. So, I mean, okay, so wouldn't this be almost like a non-article if this was true?
To me, it seems like they're saying, hey, it's a rumor. There's talks going on, but nothing concrete just yet.
Yeah. Let's see. Emmerich was rumored to be departing in Netflix and said he was given full control for not only theaters, but for HBO Max. That's what I'm talking about, right? Like, if we're going to, this is why this is also a roadblock for the Snyderverse too. It's, I know some friends of ours like to say other people, but it does really stop with Emmerich for the film side of things. Anyway, hits during his tenure included Wonder Woman, Crazy Rich Asians, A Star Is Born. Misses include The Goldfinch and The Kitchen. Yeah, those are both pretty iffy.
Yeah, very bad.
The exec was named president of the film studio in 2018. Okay. And promoted to chairman the following year. All right. So yeah, I was right. It was 2018. So, okay, I was right. I thought I was wrong. Anyway, his contract was last renewed in October 2019 and runs through the end of 2022. Now, a Warner media rep, when asked for comment about Emmerich, confirmed that the exec is under contract and said any other speculation is just that, speculation, and noting that he has a wonderful relationship with studio chief Ann Sarnoff and there's no truth to the rumor. Well, okay, so here's the thing here. One Emmerich associate speculated that a call from Geffen to Sarandos may have been intended to help Emmerich gain leverage in a future negotiation. That does seem more accurate, to be honest with you. That seems more accurate. Because because if he's trying to renegotiate, he's 18 months ahead of the end of his contract. Maybe he wants to re-up it. He wants more money. But then again,
might get him paid more because Warner will be like, hey, we don't want to lose him to Netflix. Let's pay him more money.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, this kind of jump ahead here a little bit. It's been a challenging several months for Warner's, particularly for Emmerich. As THR previously reported, Emmerich, along with COO Carolyn Blackwood, was a key player in Warner's surprise December move to put the studio's entire 2021 slate of films on HBO Max the same day opening in theaters. The studio faced backlash, including rebukes from directors like Christopher Nolan and Denis sources, I can never say his name. Villeneuve, thank you. Sources say that Warner's wrote big checks to some of those who had movies affected by the decision, such as Denzel Washington and Keanu Reeves. For some talent reps, resentment lingers. One agent with important movie clients says that when he challenged Emmerich about the move, his answer was, are we supposed to have called the above-the-line people from 17 movies? The answer is yes. Well, yeah, obviously you're supposed to call the above-the-line people to see what they know. So, and then I guess okay, let's see here. I kind of just want to jump ahead. Let's hear about Kilar. All right, Warner Media CEO Jason Kilar told Peter Kafka that certain 2022 movies will have an exclusive theatrical window, and Cineworld said the studio has struck a deal to show certain films exclusively in theaters for 45 days before streaming, though the terms are not clear. And then Kilar kind of defends the move and says he would do it again differently. Now, Warner Brothers higher-ups are also concerned about the performance of the studio's critically important DC movies. Warner has also faced negative publicity from the studio's response to Joss Whedon's alleged abusive behavior on the set of Justice League. Stars including Ray Fisher, Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa have said publicly that there were issues during his tenure. and he finished after Snyder left production. Now, this to me is kind of weird. This passage is kind of weird, right? Because what does that have to do with the price of tea in China? Overall, what does that have to do? Because Emmerich wasn't listed in any of the complaints by Ray Fisher. It was all just John Berg, Jeff Johns, and Joss Whedon. So, and this was before Emmerich apparently took over as the head of Warner Picture Group. A little bit weird, right? Kind of odd.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Unless they said, unless it's like they got the date wrong here. I'll double check. Anyway, the March release of the Snyder version. What again? What is up with this? Not this. It's the Snyder. Like this, say the Snyder cut. Everyone knows what it is. At a cost of at least 70. Come on, we know this at this point. At a cost of at least 70 million, renewed attention to the claims, with Fisher, who played Cyborg in the film, continuing to allege abusive, racist conduct on the project and accusing the studio of not seriously investigating his claims, which Warner Media fiercely denied. This is again, this is pointless. These two passages right here, completely pointless to this, to this thing, right? To the situation.
Yeah.
So this is, again, it's like I don't understand the point of this being in the article. Maybe someone has a better take on it than I do. Kim Masters wrote this. I'm unfamiliar with Kim Masters' work, but that is something there to consider. All right, let's take a look here.
Yeah. It's just such a mess right now, man.
Warner Brothers is becoming VOT. I don't think we're full boys territory yet.
I don't know, man. This is just it's like I said, today's has been pouring gasoline on an already burning fire.
Well, I think they're just trying to figure it out. Hold on. Defending Truther says, and this is his words, not mine. They're going to cast Ray Fisher as Superman as reparations. No. For one, there's no, if Ray did that, let's say that's the case. Okay. If Ray did that, that would simply just mean that, that would undermine all of his credibility. That would undermine all of his credibility. At that point, you might as well just just ignore Ray Fisher forever, because that would just prove that all he cares about is the clout, which then would prove all of his haters right. Certain corners and certain planets.
Yeah. He would never do it.
No,
he would never do it.
I don't think he would do it. If he did, I would lose all respect. I'll just say that.
Here's my thing. I talked about this on my own stream. It's like, okay, you've been mentioning it too. DC has so many amazing black characters, right? And somebody came at me and said, well, the reason they're doing this is because those characters don't make them money. And my thing was, how do you know they're not going to make money if you don't take a leap of faith and take a chance? When Miles Morales first came out, there's a lot of controversy. Nobody knew how to feel about it. They kept pushing him and pushing him and pushing him. They gave him some chances. It worked out, and now he's a huge character. Sometimes you need to take a leap of faith on a character. I'm just saying, there's so much demand for characters like, Jon Stewart, Black Canary, Val Zod, Calvin Ellis, there's like a ton of famous black superheroes they could be using, but no, they don't want to use them. And I just don't get it. I just don't.
It's a very interesting thing, because like I said, they are worried about it. I think about marketing. It's really what it boils down to, because if these characters have only a small niche, they have to then find a way to try to invest all of this money into these smaller characters. Because if you look at, let's say, Joker or let's say Deadpool, both had about similar budgets, both did exponentially well considering those smaller budgets, right? And both were rated R. The thing with Deadpool, though, is it had a fan base. It had a big fan base. It's been around for a long time, popular character, and we knew about the studio, 20th Century Fox, screwing it over. In the case of Joker, that was meant to be just a one-off. And the character, you could argue probably wasn't even really, it was like Joker in name only.
Yeah.
Right? But still a really good movie. And so there's differences there. You take someone like Blue Beetle, who they are adapting right now, and Blue Beetle would be probably better served as a person, as a show on HBO Max, and then lead into the movies. And the reason why I say that is because Blue Beetle is a Latino American, right? He's a Latino character, and I read a study a couple years ago that Latino families spend more money per capita at theaters than anybody else. You know, and so I was reading that a while back.
I can attest to that because I'm Latino and I have a Latino family, so yeah, that's true.
Well, you know, and it's just like that's what I was reading. Just like the families go, you know, and so that would be something you could build up a fan base of this very pro Latino heritage character on HBO Max, especially if they're tapping into Latin America, which is what they're doing later on this year. And then merge that into the bigger theatrical side of things, and then you're bringing all those people with you. So I mean, that's like, and that's what I said earlier. That's what Marvel's doing. You know,
well, the funny thing about the Marvel thing too is when you read that article, they basically say that DC's competing with Marvel again with the Blade movie because they're trying to get the same talent pool of directors. They both want the same talent pool of directors, and I was like, who's not going to want to direct the next big Marvel franchise with Mahershala Ali? You know, they're gonna have a tough time convincing like a major director to want to hop on this.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. You know, that's what I just don't get that. It's like, yeah, if you're gonna have like Mahershala Ali is gonna be pretty big. What I thought was interesting too is I'm talking about Ryan Coogler. Like Ryan Coogler would bail out of doing keeping on with Black Panther and Wakanda.
Yeah, that makes no sense to me.
Like yeah, it just doesn't, I don't know. I don't get it at all. And the reason why I say that has everything to do with the fact that like, you know, Feige's been super supportive. They've clearly been worked well together as a director producing, right? As a director working with a producer. So like, why would you want to go into, you know, he may want to, but
well, I think if anything, maybe after this movie, because it's been very tumultuous with the way he's had to like change things up, and he's handling like a lot of the baggage of losing Chadwick Boseman. Maybe after this, he'd want to go and do like a smaller movie, you know, take a break from the franchise work. I don't see him jumping to another franchise though.
No, and that's not everybody wants to always go from franchise to franchise to franchise. You know, I mean, what Ryan Coogler did. He did that one with Michael B. Jordan about wasn't the shooting in
Fruitvale Station?
Yeah, Fruitvale Station. Yeah. So like going and doing those, and then didn't he do the first Creed as well? He did the first Creed movie too, right? The first Creed, yep. So I mean, he clearly works well with Michael B. Jordan. So you know he'll probably want to go back to doing something with that. Now, if Michael B. Jordan is in the running for Superman, that is casting that I honestly like. I do. Yeah. And I say that because go back and watch. No,
though he keeps saying that's not happening.
Publicly. Come on, when do they ever tell the truth? When do they ever tell the truth? They never tell the truth, right? Like Andrew Garfield, like vehemently, like, no, I was not. What? No, I wasn't. No Way Home. Like, come on. Like, you know, it's just we all know that they never tell the truth. Yet we always report it as being the truth. It's a weird game. But if you go back and you watch 2012's Chronicle, Michael B. Jordan very much played like a Superman type character, right? That the do-gooder type character. You know, you've seen Chronicle, haven't you?
Yeah.
You remember how he was in that movie?
Yeah, he's like flying around and, you know.
Well, yeah, he was cocky, but it worked. But you could see him taking on that role, you know, and that's one of the reasons why I liked him. I liked it when he was cast as Johnny Storm. That movie, it was terrible.
It's good casting, just bad writing.
So Simon Kinberg, Jesus. But now I do agree with Jose here saying that it's all about the money, and I do agree with that. I do agree that it's all about the damn money. That these guys want to probably keep it, they want to try to capitalize on, I don't know. I don't like to like cast like a lot of like, accusations or aspersions or whatever, but it's like looking at where we are right now culturally with the George Floyd situation and the other Black Lives Matter protests that have happened and the surrounding that conversation, which is a much needed conversation to have. I'm wondering if this is them, Warner Brothers, going like, let's capitalize on this. That's what I can't help but think.
It doesn't feel like it's coming from a good place of heart.
It does. Yeah. It doesn't feel like it's coming as being, genuine. It feels like, oh, we have all these fans that want Henry Cavill.
Again, Here's the thing. I know they race bent Black Canary. I do know she's white in the comics, but like literally hashtag give Black Canary an HBO Max series has been trending all the time on Twitter.
It
Why not do
trended
something
one
like
time.
that?
It trended one time, and it was a
I know, but
coordinated effort.
still,
And
I
she
know,
wasn't
but
that good in the role. She wasn't.
she was one of the best parts of that movie. What are you
No,
talking
there was
about?
really no best part of that movie, though. I mean, there really wasn't.
I'm just saying,
like,
Matt.
you know,
I'm just
there
saying.
wasn't.
There's other characters they could be doing this with. Where's Jon Stewart? You know, how many times do fans have to campaign for that character to get any kind of live action adaptation? You know,
well, yeah, and I mean, I know people were wanting Wayne T. Carr to play him and whatnot, but as I talked about the other day, the guy is like, you know, he doesn't have a lot of acting experience, at least on screen, which might be one of the reasons why Zach wanted to work with him, because he doesn't have a lot of that. Let's see here. Geek Prime does say Harley Quinn is Warner Brothers Deadpool. Okay, yeah. I'll agree with that one. Let's see. Gamers X asks, are the people at Warner Brothers going to look at the numbers when the Snyder Cut Blu-ray is coming out? I'm hoping.
I don't think they're going to care.
They're not going to care. Let's see. Okay, MX Bravo says only with Warner Brothers, it's not about the money, it's about ego. They have no clue how to make money, just a bunch of headless chickens.
Well, even when Joker made $1 billion, they barely got into the profits of it because they split the financing between like 4 different companies. So
yeah. So they definitely, you know, well, they
screwed up. They screwed up with that.
Yeah, which might be one of the reasons why right now they're trying to figure out a way to make it work. I don't know, guys.
Here's the funny thing, right? There was more positivity and excitement when Loki was announced to be coming out 2 days earlier and releasing on Wednesdays than this. Like the reaction to social media is like nothing but negativity and disdain for what they're doing. I find it hilarious. Like this is a dichotomy of like Marvel's announcements over the last couple of days versus this.
Oh yeah, Marvel's announcement, right? You got to love it. Marvel's announcement just go like, hey, yeah, so here's this 3-minute trailer, just giving you guys like here's 7 seconds of you know.
And here's Tom Hiddleston making some jokes and saying Loki's coming out on Wednesdays every week instead of Friday, and that blows up social media and people are happy. You know, just a release date change.
It's really stupid. Yeah, it's just the fact is like, well, it's just a release date change because they don't want to go against Bad Batch, because I guarantee you the Bad Batch had a lot of people watching it.
Oh yeah, and the movies as well. Like I already said on Twitter, it's because they want to make sure that when a movie opens on Friday, you don't have to watch like 2 MCU things after like plan out your day. You know.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't.
Well, it's because they want the movies to take precedent of conversation.
What movie? What movie? The only movie is going to be Black Widow, and that's going to be on premiere.
Well, I know, but I think. Well, let me clarify. I think going forward, you're going to see these MCU shows debut on Wednesdays, not Friday.
Oh, okay. Well, it's kind of like they did that with the Mandalorian season 1. So like you had the second to last episode was actually like on a Wednesday because they didn't want to coincide with the Friday release of Rise of Skywalker.
Yep, I think that's just what you're going to see going forward, because a lot of these MCU movies are going to start coming out frequently, and you know.
Well, now Jose here talks about here, it says the Blu-ray sales are just a cash grab. It doesn't matter. Blu-ray sales can influence quite a bit, but also it's going to be digital sales, and that is something that they're not talking about. Are the digital sales? We never get those numbers, and that was the thing with a lot of the over the sea stuff with the Snyder Cut. A lot of those companies have put out the graphics talking about how it's like number 1, you know, on their charts, and those are people that are actively paying for the movie. So I you know, it's so Blu-ray physical media still matters, God damn it, and I'm gonna stand by that theory.
No, for sure.
So, all right. Okay. So I don't have a lot of more time. I got maybe like 10 more minutes because I gotta get my kids ready to go down for a nap. Ryan Jacobo says, bring back Tom Rothman. No, we will not bring back Tom Rothman.
You didn't like Tom Rothman?
No.
I know.
Why do you think Sony had to make the deal with Netflix and then make the deal with Disney Plus, man? Tom Rothman was brought in just like Hamada was brought in to like, you know, maximize budgets, try to make it all a bit more streamlined, cut budget down, because that's Tom Rothman's that kind of guy. That's why he didn't want to greenlight Deadpool. And then as a result, the creativity suffered. You know, when's the last time Sony really had a hit outside of Spider-Man? I don't.
Skyfall, but that was like 6 years ago or something.
Skyfall was 2012, dude.
Oh, I forgot. I thought it was like way. Yeah,
Spectre was 2015, and that one did not do as well as Skyfall.
yeah. It's basically just
So
been Spider-Man. Yeah,
Spider-Man, I mean, they've like their animated stuff has done okay, you know, but they just sold that the Mitchells versus the Machines. They just sold that to Netflix, and that just popped up this
true.
week, and I've watched that now like 3 times because my
Yeah.
kids like it.
Well, it's been blowing up in popularity. It's
Well,
a
yeah,
pretty
and
big
it's
hit
like,
for them.
and it would have been good in theaters because we're at a point now, and I think Sony's probably kicking themselves in the ass because with Godzilla, you know, people like escapism, and that movie's like pure escapism, and we're coming up on like summer break and shit. They should have released it in June. I don't know. They'd make some stuff. You know. Okay, sorry. Barrel Bob here makes a point. Jumanji did do good.
Yeah, both of
Jumanji
them.
did do good,
Yeah,
and
both of
Venom
them
did well as well. You guys are right. I was wrong. You guys are right. 100%. Jumanji and Venom. Those are both Sony
And Bad
films.
Boys. Bad Boys for life.
And Bad Boys wasn't it like the highest grossing film last year? Like 400 million?
It was until Demon Slayer came out in Japan. Like we're talking about worldwide, but in the US, yeah, it was still the biggest movie in the US.
Yeah. So I mean, and Demon Slayer just dethroned Mortal Kombat. Like, jeez. Like I said, never underestimate weebs leaving their house. You will always be in a situation. Oh wow, I can buy an Xbox Series S. No, I'm good. Give me the X. I just got the notification. It's like, do you want an Xbox Series S? Nope.
I got an S because I already have a PS5, and it's like, I'll just use it for Game Pass.
Yeah, but I want the X. Garrick asks, "Are you excited for Black Adam?" I am. Yeah. I want to see. Now, Integrity 101. This is God, peak copium. Peak copium here. Henry Cavill isn't going anywhere. He'll be in Justice League 2 and Justice League 3, which is obviously happening.
I think maybe he's just joking around. I
probably, yeah. But if you're being serious, that's peak cope. Because here's the deal: is we gotta come to the realization that they don't want to work with Zack, and Zack has said this. And the Snyderverse.
I'm just saying, every single article comes out, keep saying they're moving on. They're moving on. They're moving on.
Garrick here asks a good question. Why can't Snyder fans just accept defeat? And the reason why is because they people were told that there wasn't going to be, that there wasn't going to be a Snyder cut, that it didn't exist, and that it was never coming out. And they fought for 3 years, and they got it, or 2.5 years really, because it was like 2.5 years it took to get that thing greenlit. And then it finally came out. And so then they want to fight for more. I get that. But the difference of the situation is, and this is what I always like to try to reiterate to even some of my friends who have trouble really getting this through their skulls sometimes, is that the Snyder Cut was filmed. It just needed to be finished. So it existed. This doesn't exist. We're talking investment of $200 million.
Unless it's animated or unless they do like some other format to get the story out.
Well, even then, do you think, and we have to think about the character, about the actors themselves. All right. Do you think that Momoa, coming off of a $1.15 billion movie, is going to take a pay cut to go shoot these movies? Like, if this is like, let's say it's TV shows, right? Are they going to shoot that for like a year to get both? Because it's going to take a while.
Momoa loves Zack. I think a better comparison would be like an Affleck or a Gal Gadot.
Well, Affleck and Gal, yeah. But I mean, I'm using Momoa specifically because of their friendship. Right, Momoa's got a lot of other things going on. He's on an Apple TV show called C, which I believe is getting another season. He's got I think he's even got like a freaking had a Netflix show. I don't know if it's still going on or not.
No,
like
I think it ended. But he's busy. Yeah.
But he's busy. And that's the other issue with this is like you got to get people. Gal is 4 or 5 months preggers. She's going to pop out another kid here in a couple months, and it's going to take her a whole, she just turned 36. So, she's got the recovery period. She's still very good shape, so she'll get back to it pretty quick. Right. But then it's like, she may want to spend time with her kid. And, and she's in Israel where they've got, they've handled COVID very well, but she may not feel comfortable wanting to leave and go out. We've got no confirmation on when they're doing Wonder Woman 3. Patty is signed up to do the next Rogue Squadron movie, which is the next theatrical Star Wars film coming in 2023.
And supposedly they're in Cleopatra next.
And supposedly, yeah. And so, I mean, we're not going to get Wonder Woman 3 for many years. So are they going to do a Zack Snyder Justice League? No, it's just, Animated would be their best bet. Get Jay Olivia to do it, right? Get Jay Olivia to do it. Pay the fees to get Ben and Gal and Jason and Ezra and Ray, everyone to come back and do the voices. And I think that would be okay. Or release it as a graphic novel. I would definitely read it as a graphic novel.
Yeah. Garrick, I think the Flash movie is going to decanonize the Snyderverse. I think it's pretty well established at this point.
Considering that Justice League is the canon that they're going for.
Yeah.
So, well, no, MX Bravo, he says your cast is not the problem. No, cast is still the problem because Jared Leto returned for a 4-minute sequence that they shot in like an afternoon. All right. And Leto is going to be Morbius. And if Morbius picks up, then again, that's going to tie into more franchise. That's more the Sinister Six. Morbius would probably be part of Sinister Six. Sony's got their Marvel, was it Sony Pictures universe of Marvel characters going forward. There's a lot there that's going to be happening with this, right? So you got to look at it from that perspective of cast is a problem because cast has other things that they're doing. Coming back to shoot this scene for fun, setting something up would be, hey, a maybe what if sort of thing. And yeah, Jared Leto loves Zach and loves playing the Joker. But like I said, the key to all that shit is the Ayer cut too. That should be the fandom's next move is start pushing for the Ayer cut. Because that is also something that's been shot and just needs to be completed. And to showcase what Ayer really wanted to do, to showcase the validity of that fandom, of that side of things. That's going to be a harder play, but that's probably your most realistic way going forward is the Ayer cut.
Yeah. And again, the whole argument that why is Ben Affleck doing the movie? Contracts, and I think he just wants to say goodbye to the role.
His contract is already up because when he said, I'm no longer Batman, in like 2019, that was
I thought that there was still a movie on it. They just released him from the contract.
If they release him from the contract, then the contract is done.
Okay.
What this was most likely is him going, Justice League sucked dick. And I don't want to have that be my last Batman performance. And he probably signed on after the Snyder Cut was greenlit, because at least then people would see Zach's vision of Justice League getting a good Batman. And then it would allow him to come in to close out the character, which means he gonna die. Or they're going to erase the Snyderverse completely, and then it's just going to be Robert Pattinson.
I don't know. Matt Reeves has been pretty against connectivity to the main timeline. I mean, again, I think they're bringing in Michael Keaton for a reason. So,
well, yeah. Anyway, here the Flicks picks and the nitpicks says Snyder fans admit defeat. That phrase is the problem. The movie came out. It's become a Street Fighter game to win fans versus Warner Brothers. It's no longer about the films. I do kind of agree with that. I do agree with that one here. And I don't think integrity is lying. He's really going full on cope with this, guys. Like full on cope. That's pretty crazy. Look, here's the thing, MX Bravo. Like, I know what you're saying. If they pitch it as a nightmare movie, because let's also just be realistic here. Can we be honest with ourselves? The only real thing people care about going forward is the nightmare sequence. That's what they want. They want the nightmare. They want to see Darkseid having annihilated the Earth, and they want the nightmare to stop him. That's it. Everyone I talk to, everything I see always goes back to the nightmare scene. Even leading up to the Justice League, to Snyder Cut, it was still about the nightmare scene. So that's what fans want. They want the nightmare stuff. That would be cheaper. That would be a lot cheaper. And if they want to do the volume, which Zach had talked about seeing that in action, that might be something. Okay, that if anything is going to get me to hold out hope and to stop being a cynical realist, it would be probably the nightmare. That I would go for.
I'd be interested in that. I don't know, Matt, you've talked about this before. Do you think, just seeing the Snyder Cut fans and leaving them behind, where they don't want to support the movies anymore, is going to hurt WB going forward?
No. Because Warner Brothers is not just one franchise. Right? Warner Brothers is not just one franchise.
DC is a big franchise for them, though, in terms of financial.
But Game of Thrones, I think, is bigger. I think ultimately Game of Thrones. Yeah, I think ultimately Game of Thrones is bigger. I think ultimately Game of Thrones has reached more people worldwide and has made more fans of the franchise. Why do you think today, not only did the Hollywood Reporter drop that article about the, Black Superman, but then right then also Warner Brothers drops like the official stills from the House of the Dragon series.
Oh, they did.
I did not see those. They dropped 4 stills like right at the same time. So Game of Thrones is trending.
I actually am kind of excited for that show.
Yeah, well, and then also Garrick here says Harry Potter is bigger, which is also true.
Yeah,
and Harry Potter
Fantastic Beasts hasn't been a big hit for them though.
Fantastic Beasts has not. No, well, the thing was the first one did okay. The second one suffered from bad scripting, which everyone called out, and that's why they delayed the movie. And I agree. I called it out too. Even diehard Rowling, whatever how you want to spell it, JK fans came out and they were just like, "This shit sucked." You know?
It was a horrible script.
It was a horrible script, and they let her have the carte blanche to do it, which is why they brought back in the guy who it's Stephen Clives, right? Or Cloves, or I think Stephen Clives is his name. He's the one who wrote the scripts for Harry Potter. So he's the one who wrote pretty much all 8 screenplays for Harry Potter. And that one is who they brought. Stephen Cloves, that's his name. They brought him back in to work on the script with JK.
Okay, so it's gonna be like a duel. They're both gonna work on it.
I don't. And dude, okay, man, enjoy your cope integrity. I'm saying, look, but we're in a different world from 2018. So I don't know who you are, so I don't know how much crap you got. Like, I don't know who you are. I'm sorry. Anyway, let's see here. J.K. Rowling pulled a George Lucas on that Fantastic Beasts 2 script, kind of. Ryan here says the Lord of the Rings is bigger. Yes.
And HBO Max lost that franchise to Amazon. So.
Well, I mean, not really. Not really. I mean, they could have argued it, yeah. But Bezos came in with a dump truck full of money. A couple of them probably. The thing is, though, yeah, you're right. Lord of the Rings is and that's why Game of the Thrones is what we're going to see mostly coming out of HBO Max in regards to high fantasy, because Lord of the Rings is going to be big when that comes out this year for Amazon. That's going to be massive. And
people are not happy with you saying that DC is smaller than those other franchises.
It is.
I mean, Kal-El said, "What are you talking about? Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman have been around for what, 80 years?
80 years don't mean shit. Lord of the Rings, I mean, nah, dude. Trust me, man. Like in the grand scheme of things, more motherfuckers have read the Lord of the Rings than they've read Batman comics. All right, like they've been around for. I'm talking about we're talking about the profitability, the overall like excitement here. Is there excitement for Warner Brothers DC properties at the moment? Does anyone have excitement for these? Are your nips getting hard? There we go. But Lord of the Rings is bigger, dude. Game of the Thrones. We're talking about like overall and shit. Like there were 40 million people that watched the Game of Thrones series finale. That was 40 million accounts watched that shit on HBO back in 2019.
Yeah. 40
million, but also 40 million people pirated it too. Mm-hmm. It was 1-to-1 across the board practically.
House of the Dragon is going to be HBO Max's Mandalorian. That's going to be the big show to get people really interested in the service.
I would hope so. And they're going to have to really sell it. And that's the thing. Look, Warner Brothers could have something on their hands. If they do something that hits, like a TV show that hits like The Mandalorian or The Boys or Invincible or whatever, right? If it hits, then all bets are off, because now we're talking a whole different game. But for right now, they don't know what they're doing. All they're saying is multiverse, and it comes across as a for-profit endeavor rather than a story-driven one. And that shows you that they don't have faith in the property. And I'm telling you, the fans are going to see that, which is why, they've been reluctant in many instances. Birds of Prey, 400 million worldwide. That was it. You know what else made 400 million? Solo, right? Ghostbusters. I think it made way less than that, actually. I think it was like 260 or something.
So Matt, is DC dead?
I'm gonna say it. Yeah, they're dead. They're pretty dead. They're pretty DOA. I mean, look, the Batman is gonna be it. Honestly, the Batman. I want to see the Suicide Squad. I really do. I think that's gonna be a lot of fun.
They should probably just reboot after.
Burn it all down, reboot it, sell it. I agree with Firewater on that one. Right now would be the right time for Warner Brothers to sell DC as a whole. What they tried launching DC Universe as its own standalone thing, and it failed because they couldn't figure out how to market it because they thought that there were more DC fans out there than there actually were.
If it was a Marvel streaming service like that, it would have popped off so big.
It would have blown up. It would have blown up, dude. You 100% would have blown up. You could take all the. I mean, Disney. I mean, look, WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, top shows in the world. Top shows in the world.
And the hype for Loki, I think the hype for Loki is bigger than both those shows combined. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just, well, Birds of Prey did cost less than Solo too, Garrick. You are right on that one. But we're not talking about cost versus profit. We're talking about overall profit.
Yeah, and Birds of Prey was beaten by a blue hedgehog.
And it was a better movie. It was a better movie. It was a way better movie. I've watched Sonic again. I've only watched Birds of Prey that way.
I can't wait for the sequel, man. They're bringing in Knuckles, Tails.
I know. I saw the screen, the set photos that had the setups there, and I was like, yeah, that's gonna be dope.
I don't know, man. I mean, I like I said, I'm excited for the Batman. I'm excited for Suicide Squad. Everything else is a wait and see approach. It's just right now, man. It's hard being a DC fan. It's like the meme where Homer Simpson is dressed up as Krusty and he beats up the burglar, and the kid just goes, "Stop! He's already dead." That's basically DC right now.
No, Jose here says Warner Brothers must be an idiot to sell DC. Not at all, man. Not at all. Like the thing is like I'll tell you what they should invest in. They should stop investing in live action for a while and go straight animated because their animated is good. Their animated is very good.
So do you like big budget theatrical animation movies?
Yes.
So no more direct to DVD movies. Just go like
dude. Like fucking The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and Part 2 should have been theatrical. They should have dropped it as a 2.5 hour R-rated Batman animated movie.
That would have been so cooler to see in theaters.
I mean, it would have been. Oh my God, I loved it. It was amazing. Except like, Part 1, Part 2. I mean, The Long Halloween should be in theaters. Yeah, right? The Long Halloween should be out there.
They put The Killing Joke out in theaters, and that's like one of the biggest limited event screenings ever.
I saw it. I went and saw the when I was in San Diego, right after it was right before I left San Diego for after Comic-Con. I went and saw it, and then I came back and I bought the Blu-ray. And I liked it. I even liked the Barbara Gordon storyline that a lot of people hate, but I really liked it. I thought The Killing Joke was fantastic. Well, the song sucked. I'm sorry, the song was terrible, and I know Mark Hamill liked doing it, but I thought that was still pretty bad. But I enjoyed The Killing Joke because The Killing Joke was an iconic story that they adapted in a way that I felt worked. And it's like, take some of these graphic novels, dude, like the Frank Miller stuff, like the Batman Year One, like all that shit that people love, those really good, hard hitting stories, animate them because that is where they do well. Like the Suicide Squad, Assault on Arkham is a good one too, and you can have
actually Suicide Squad Hell to Pay was pretty good too.
Yeah, hold on. Garrick here says, isn't the Arrowverse doing well? No,
it's dying. Look at the Flash, man. They're losing Cisco and Wells.
Yeah, well, after 7 seasons, and that's going to kill the show, I think, because Harrison Wells is a big. Tom Cavanaugh is a big part.
Yeah, he's a big part. One of the best parts of that show.
And so is Carlos too. I like Cisco a lot. He's like I think Cisco is kind of like the heart, of the show. When I was watching it, at least the first couple of seasons, but losing Tom Cavanaugh and losing him is going to be pretty bad.
Yeah, and Jess March, just so you know, animation, I get that in the United States has its stigmatism, but look at Demon Slayer, man. Biggest movie in the world right now. And that's animated.
Well, here's the thing too, is Reese's Pieces here says that Spider-Verse was leaps and bounds above any DC movie.
Yeah.
Spider-Verse was fantastic, man. It won the Academy Award. Imagine if a Batman animated movie won an Academy Award for Best Animated Property. I believe they can do it. I really
There was actually a rumor that they were thinking about doing a theatrical animated Batman Beyond movie. And I was like, yeah, do it. And then it never happened.
Fuck, people still talk about Return of the Joker as being one of the best animated films to come out of the DCAU. And like still that twist of the Joker was insane. And like, that was a good twist because people still like Batman Beyond 20 years later. They still talk about it 20 years later. I don't know why the people running DC are so bad at their jobs. We are literally giving them gold right now. I think we're literally giving them a lot of good things. Let's see here. I don't know how that is. I think that's Cyrillic. Although I do enjoy the Sam Neill Event Horizon avatar there. It says, can someone explain to me what the fuck is Batwoman? It's a show.
A very bad show.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Meshwa here does say that the Lego Batman movie did make more than 300 million. That movie was fun.
It should have made
I,
more money though.
It should. I think it fell apart though in the last act. To be honest with you, and the same thing happened with the Mitchells versus the Machines. I feel that the movie fell apart in the last act. Like the climax just overdid it for me. Like in the climax of Lego Batman movie when it opened up the multiverse and they brought in everyone.
Sauron and yeah.
I was like, okay. Like I'm yeah.
It was. I mean, I liked it though. It was still fun.
but it overstayed its welcome real quick. Like it was like, yeah, all right, like it just took away from what they were trying to do. It's just like, I get it. They were trying to be irreverent, like the ending of the Lego movie, but that same kind of forced irreverence is what killed the Lego movie, The Second Brick, for me. Also, Tiffany Haddish. I just don't like Tiffany Haddish. She's just not funny.
So what was wrong with the Mentos versus the Machines third act? Like too big or what?
It was too big. I mean, like at one point, I literally all the family should be dead. At one point, they should be dead. Like there's just literally no way that they would have survived this. And then they do, and then it turns into this weird, like they're now like, I mean, the robots have like rocket boosters and can fly for some reason, and then they're like using them like surfboards. Well, it's a good movie. It's a fun movie, but I think once they get to that last act, it just starts to fall apart for me. It goes into the completely absurd.
Sometimes it's really hard to end a movie and notice.
Yeah. Now, what do we think about the Justice League Dark Apocalypse War? I liked it, man. I thought the animation was a bit wonky at time, but the scripting and voice acting was good, and the violence was supreme.
Yeah, a little edgy though. Seemed like they were like really pushing the R rating and really going a bit too edgy in some regards.
Well, I mean, when you see like Batwoman and Batgirl get torn apart,
by
Paradooms, it's like, it's like you weren't expecting it. It's like watching Invincible, and you get to the train sequence. I won't say what it is, but you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
You want to talk about like pushing the boundary. That is pushing the boundary of, oh my God. So, I mean, there's a lot there that you could do with these in animation that I think would be better. I mean, I know some people are saying here, like, Red Sun deserves live action. Yeah, and I think they were talking about that too. There was a report I heard from Mikey Sutton that was talking about that a while ago.
Yeah. Honestly, the animated movie they didn't do that story justice. They changed way too much from the comic to where it didn't even have the same impact, in my opinion. It's still an okay movie, just not as good as the comic, which is a shame.
Well, in many cases, your adaptations are always going to end up being like that.
Oh, I know, but The Dark Knight Returns was perfect. They got it right before. I don't know. Shouldn't maybe.
I think a big part of that, if I'm being honest, I think a big part of that was actually Peter Weller's performance. And which I will admit, at first I was like, no Kevin Conroy, I ain't watching this shit. And then I watched it when it came out on home video, and I was like, I was wrong. This was great. So I don't know. I think because I actually have to get going here because it's afternoon. I have to start getting my kids ready for their nap time. So I guess what are your final thoughts, RJ?
DC is a mess right now. Future is looking bleak. That's what I'll say. Outside the Batman, I'm losing my confidence and faith in Warner Brothers.
I understand that, and I'll just say this: I'm glad I'm a Marvel fan.
Oh yeah, I mean, honestly, guys, just come over and be Marvel fans, man. We're getting Loki next month. Loki looks great.
I mean, like they care. I just feel like they care, and that means a lot. Like in regards to being fans in this day and age, it's like they're not just expecting us to show up because they slapped a label on it. If Marvel didn't have a plan, and even if they didn't have a plan, if they had the care they put into it. Yeah, there's been some changes that I haven't necessarily always liked, or movies that I've necessarily always liked, but they've done enough to where they don't
abandon ship when there's a bad movie, or something doesn't work out creatively. They just push forward and try and do their best to please the fans.
Yeah, and it just doesn't always work. It's just it's Integrity says, I'm looking forward to Zack Snyder's Justice League 2. Well, hey, listen. Maybe one day it will happen. All right, yeah. I'll say that. But you're looking at years.
It's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna happen the way people think it is. I think it's gonna be an animated movie or a graphic novel or something.
I think graphic novel would probably be like the better thing. But I'm telling you guys this right now, and I will end it after this. If you want more really, I believe Grace is right on this one, and I hate saying that, but I think when she said that the Joker is the key, she's not kidding, and that's going to require the Ayer cut. That's going to require the Ayer cut. And so if you know, and Ayer hasn't Ayer said that he was like his is done, like his is finished, I think.
I have to check on that, but
like,
yeah, it sounds
I
like
guarantee you in the last year, that motherfucker has gone back and retooled that movie. I guarantee you he has gone back and started messing around with it again. Because like, you know, if Zach's doing it, he's like, I'm going to do it too. So Barry Allen here says Apocalypse War was Zach's arc released. It was released before Zack Snyder's Justice League. Another way Warner Brothers is undercutting Zack's version. Well, I mean, there were beats that did feel like they I honestly felt like Apocalypse War was like I was watching the sequel to Justice League. To be honest with you. Like I did, you know? It felt like Justice League 2 and 3.
The original, the reboot, Justice League War, the first movie in the new continuity, it did feel a lot like a Zack Snyder Justice League movie. You know, Darkseid coming in and all that. So
is that one? What is Apocalypse War? Is that the sequel to War?
Yeah, so Justice League.
Because I never saw Justice League War.
Movie, it's the first movie in the continuity. They fight Darkseid, and the final movie of the universe is Darkseid coming back to Earth.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right, that's definitely something on that one. You know, it's there's a lot of things there that they need to do, and I think animated is the way to go. I just think animated is the way to go. All right, real quick here. Barrel Bob says, wasn't Suicide Squad already done before, but Warner Brothers had another studio cut a version? It wasn't another studio. It was like a trailer company.
Yeah, it was a music company that edited the trailer.
Yeah, but because I remember like they added a big set piece in the movie during the reshoots. I just don't know which one it was. So, hopefully, okay, oddly specific here says Ayer filmed his full movie. He had to make some moderate changes due to executive requests, but then it was re-edited by the trailer company. Okay. Yeah. This is the push. This is the push that they should do.
Even though Ann Sarnoff said no.
Yeah. Yeah. Here, I'm sorry. I'll say it. I'll be the one. I'll say it. Fuck Ann Sarnoff. She don't know shit.
She said they're not developing it though, man. They said they have no interest in it.
Yeah, well, I mean, anything could happen. All right. I'm just saying. I don't know Ann Sarnoff. I mean, she's probably a nice lady, looks like I think she's a mom. She's probably a loving mother. I don't know. I don't want to I'm not trying to throw her under the bus or like that'd be a dick, but it's but Tim, here's the thing, man, is like
Spider-Verse.
Well, no, Spider-Verse got screwed, and that was Sony's own fault. Because when they dropped Spider-Verse, it was like December 12th, 2019, right? Or 2018.
No, yeah.
So
same time as Bumblebee and Aquaman.
Bumblebee, not only that, but Mary Poppins too. So it went up against Bumblebee, Mary Poppins, and Aquaman. All right, like it should not have happened like that. Like that, Morbius got moved back another week to give Spider-Man No Way Home another week.
Yeah.
To Spider-Man
this
No Way
time
Home.
Spider-Verse 2 is releasing in the summer, so I'm interested to see how that goes.
Yeah, well, I know, but then they're releasing Spider-Man No Way Home in winter, which has normally been a July release. So that should be fascinating to see how that turns out as well. Yeah, it's kind of weird, right? It's flipping around. But I look, the thing is like Spider-Verse was amazing. I love Spider-Verse. And I think like animation, if done like that, it's costly, but it can be done right. And it can be compelling. And you have to get people out there that understand the universe and the characters, and they're not going to be sitting there and trying to figure out ways they have to trust it. People trust Feige because Feige has consistently shown that he cares. Who cares at Warner Brothers at this point? Jim Lee does, I know that, but he's not in that kind of creative position.
Yeah. You got a clean house, man. You got a clean house.
Oh, right. Yeah. Ann Sarnoff worked for the BBC America. That's right. But she, you know what? And so she's used to complete control. There we go. There we go. All right, guys. It says, thank you, man. Thank you, guys. All right. So if you guys haven't already, please toss a like on the video, and Discord link is in the video description if you guys want to join in the Discord. I will probably be live later on tonight if anyone wants to jump on in and have a conversation. This was kind of a very big special occasion. I had to just talk about this while I could. And thank you, RJ, for showing up. Your link is there in the chat, so feel free to go and give him a follow. He's got his own takes on this as well.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys, have yourself a great day. And remember, Warner Brothers probably doesn't love you. Sorry.